So, we've put in hours at work, and somehow the trade-off is less choice, less visibility, and more AI surveillance? Who asked for this exactly?
Nobody asked!
Hey, welcome to my channel everyone, I'm the Global Cherry, and in this video, I will discuss why gaming and internet censorship makes no sense to me. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe after it's done. Let's jump in. Let's start with gaming censorship. A controversial Australian group called Collective Shout has recently made headlines. Originally known for opposing the objectification of women in media, they've now turned their attention to video games.
What if I told you that games are being marketed to 12-year-olds?
They pressured payment processors like Visa, PayPal, and MasterCard to act against platforms such as Steam and itch.io. In response, both quietly pulled a large number of legal adult and NSFW titles, many of which weren't even that explicit, just flagged under vague and inconsistent standards. Take a horror game like Mouthwash. Does that really count as adult content? Or is this just about censoring what they personally dislike? Naturally, gamers pushed back. Wouldn't you be frustrated if someone tried to control how you spend your own money? When the backlash started, Collective Shout locked their Twitter account like cowards and disappeared from the conversation. Meanwhile, the gaming community organized protests on Reddit, Blue Sky, Change.org, and more. Over 200,000 people signed a petition demanding that Visa, MasterCard, and activist groups stop interfering with what we choose to read, watch, and play. Elon Musk reposted the petition, and Collective Shout is accusing him of endangering them. As if the backlash is his fault, former Visa employees are even encouraging people to call in and voice their frustration. The pressure is mounting and it's starting to hurt business. As a gamer myself, I'd say keep going. It's your money. If a game is legal and not harming anyone, you should be able to play it. Now MasterCard claims they weren't directly involved in the censorship, but Valve says otherwise. In fact, Valve confirmed that MasterCard rejected their existing content guidelines under their Rule 5127. Steam wasn't breaking any laws, but because Collective Shout made enough noise, MasterCard now decided certain games were bad for their brand. Otherwise, Steam risks getting dropped. Instead of policing video games, I strongly encourage Collective Shout to focus on putting the fries in the bag. Their founder, Melinda Tankard-Rice, responded on LinkedIn, claiming the group won't be silenced by what she calls threats and abuse from gamers. In her words, misogynistic gamers are defending their so-called grape and wincest games. But it's not just men speaking out, women are calling them out too. What's baffling to me is that Collective Shout had enough influence to trigger widespread content removal across major platforms. This was never about NSFW content. It's about control, censorship, and who gets to decide what's appropriate, whether it's a mature game or creative expression. If censorship like this continues, even a game like GTA 6 could be deemed inappropriate and taken off gaming platforms. Even a Japanese politician has called for an investigation into Collective Shout's tactics and influence. Meanwhile, itch.io is planning to relist some of the free games that were removed. Since they don't go through payment processors, they're also looking for alternative processors to protect the platform, but the threat doesn't stop there. Around the same time, nearly every Western government placed child safety laws into practice, which could tighten online restrictions even further. In 2023, the UK passed the Online Safety Act, a law supposedly meant to protect kids under 13 from adult websites and social media. And sure, some content can be harmful. If I had seen a Kim Kardashian butt at 16, I'd be sad too. God has not blessed me with cake, but has given me pancakes.
Emotional, damn it!
But this goes way deeper. Now people are required to scan their government ID, face, or credit card just to access parts of the internet. In the UK, Discord demands facial scans or photo ID to verify your age. Spotify locks you out unless you upload official documents to access content they've flagged as harmful. Refuse, and they'll delete your account. Reddit, Twitter, Xbox, and even Wikipedia are bending the knee and adopting similar systems. Twitter even partnered with a company called Autotics, which previously suffered a data breach exposing driver's licenses. Let's be real, this isn't about protecting children anymore. Labour MP Barry Gardner even admitted the real goal was to suppress speech the government doesn't like. So much for just protecting the kids. Think of the kids.
I don't think 13-year-olds are engaging that. So is it also to monitor adults? Simple question, yes or no?
Yes, of course it will.
Okay, there you go.
There we go.
Yeah.
This ramps up government surveillance and suppresses speech. In response, VPN use in the UK has surged, and some users are bypassing facial scans by using Norman Reedus from Death Stranding in photo mode to verify their age. At this rate, the UK government will see that 90% of their residents is Norman Reedus.
Our name is Jerry.
Australia's version of the act targets users under 16. Starting December 2025, Australians will need to verify their age with facial scans or ID just to use search engines like Google or Bing. They also plan to block anyone under 16 from creating YouTube accounts, limiting them to passive viewing only. So if you're underage, you can't comment on my video or become a green screen kid. Australia is even pushing a global social media ban for minors at a UN meeting in New York this September, despite opposition from the Trump administration, which has spoken out against digital censorship. This is excessive. If a kid traumatizes themselves with Human Centipede or something like 2 Girls, 1 Cup, the responsibility doesn't just fall on the child or the internet. It also falls on the parents to protect and raise their children properly. Stop giving little Temtem your iPad to watch Cocomelon and teach them to be responsible. It's like banning steak because babies might choke on it. Governments shouldn't be raising children, and they definitely shouldn't be policing adults. Meanwhile, tech companies can benefit from all this by collecting and selling more user data. Speaking of data, the Australian Labor government is also demanding Signal to provide backdoor access to private messages. That's like saying, give us your car keys in case you decide to speed. Signal's president Whitaker said they'd rather leave the country than comply. We might think this level of censorship stops with the UK or Australia, but it won't. It's spreading. And sooner or later, this will affect all of us. Big Brother is watching. YouTube recently announced new protections for teens using AI to guess if users are over 18. How? By analyzing your search history, watch habits, and account age. Forget your birthday. YouTube will block you until you upload your ID, face, or credit card. This kicks in on August 13, so if your kid watches Barney on your YouTube account, AI might decide you're 5, and then you'll have to convince Google you're not 5 with official documents. As a grown woman with a baby face, I've already been blessed with the option of getting locked out of my own account because of my face, or handing over my personal information. When I was 22, a bouncer looked at my real ID and still thought it was fake. While other women get hit on at bars, I got drunk guys roasting me, yelling, "Little girl, are you lost?" Even a few months ago, a waiter at Cheesecake Factory asked if I wanted the kids menu.
Am I a joke to you?
I don't need YouTube putting me in the same category as Peppa Pig. AI is getting smarter, but it's far from perfect. What's baffling is that these extreme measures are being introduced when YouTube already has a separate app for kids. The real issue is how AI surveillance erodes anonymity across the board. Anonymity is crucial, especially for vulnerable groups who need to speak out without fear of harassment. Did the West look at China's censorship and think, I'll have what they're having? What are these laws really protecting people from? The US has its own version of the Online Safety Act in the works. And despite America's intolerance of foreign censorship of tech platforms, similar restrictions are already creeping in, and now it's moving into the EU. This is shaping up to be a global digital dictatorship. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres has even called for more censorship, claiming digital platforms are being misused to spread hate and disinformation. But who decides what counts as disinformation? Samantha Smith appeared on TV to talk about Pakistani grooming gangs. Shortly after, police showed up at her door to silence her.
2 police officers banged on my door demanding that I speak to them about my interview.
You'd think the system would protect people exposing predators, but apparently her words were the harmful content they wanted gone. Is that what Guterres meant by disinformation? Or is this just another example of silencing dissent? The internet should be a space for creativity, free expression, and truth, not a tightly controlled echo chamber. Yes, this all feels frustrating, but remember, awareness is the first step. The more we question, speak out, and support one another, the harder it becomes for these systems to grow unchecked. The more people push back together, the more power they have. No change will come unless those who silence free speech are publicly called out and shamed. This isn't the internet you and I signed up for. We don't have to accept this as the internet's future, not silently and not alone. What do you think about this kind of censorship? I'm curious about your thoughts about all of this. That is all for today. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe for more content like this, and comment your opinions on the issue. Thank you for watching, and that's all.